was not our lowest rated show by any means.
That's true.
But it was our most expensive show by an order of magnitude. So we needed it to do 50,000 downloads. We had always said that we would do 12 weeks, a quarter of the show, and decide at the end of 12 weeks if it was viable. But we knew it was a bit of a gamble because it was so expensive. It was kind of a different style for us. It was highly produced. It was scripted. It wasn't a talking heads show, but that was my goal. We wanted to do something that was different and better than our previous, or different, not necessarily better, but different from what we normally do.
Well, we tried to up our game, and I think we had a lot of lessons with this, and we learned a lot, but we definitely had to make a business decision, and that's mainly why we canceled it.
We did think we were going to go, we did initially think we were going to go 18 weeks. The show show started at about 35,000 downloads, went down to about 27 and held steady at 27. I was hoping to give it another 6 weeks, but when we looked at the bottom line, we just couldn't afford it. It was really a question of just we didn't have the money.
Right.
So ad sales were down in January and February unexpectedly.
And the forecast for the second quarter for Game On was pretty low. So
the forecast of sales, ad sales, you mean, or
for ad sales for it?
Yeah, we just couldn't. So what went wrong? I think I underestimated how crowded the category is. There are so many great shows in every.
I'd say we both
niche
did.
Of that. You know, everybody. People told me on Twitter over the last few days all the other great gaming shows, and there are a ton of them. And there's roundtables, talking heads. There's action. There's, G4 with X-Play. So Revision 3 even has a couple. So I think that was problem number one, just too crowded. I had always said I will never do a gaming show. I said it many, many times. We just got a lot of pressure from the audience to do one.
Well, I don't think it was just pressure from the audience. I think it was an opportunity to bring Brian and Veronica in a little bit more and see if we could break into that realm.
We had when
we gave it a shot.
When we started NSFW, that was going to be I had a problem with. I could not figure out how to do a gaming show. I figured anybody who's into gaming is going to want a game. And so how do you do a show that gets a gamer off the game and watching your show an hour a week? And I really was challenged by that. And I was also very aware of all the other choices. I did not want to do another X-Play. I felt like, G4 was a channel devoted to gaming, and look how it's doing. So I had a lot of evidence that gaming wasn't great. So when Brian and I talked, I said, I want to do a gaming show that's for the gamer and the gaming culture, but it's not a gaming show. And that's what NSFW became, because Brian's a serious gamer. And so the original plan for NSFW was to be our gaming show that wasn't about gaming. I somehow, down the road, got convinced we should try a gaming show. I think you're right, we wanted to use Veronica, but I think it was also that there's a lot of advertising money in gaming, and I thought, well, maybe we can get some of that. Maybe that's going to be, a financially good move for us. But my initial concerns about a gaming show were true, which is it's too crowded. It's hard to find a single show that can cover enough of the market, because there's console gamers, and then within console gamers there's Wii, Nintendo, Wii, PS3, Xbox. That's 3 different groups. There's PC gamers. There's shoot 'em up. There's FPS. There's it's just very, there's RTS. It's very hard to do a show for everybody. And so we tried. That's all I could say is we did our best, what we consider the best that we could do with our resources. And I thought it was a damn good show. I think Justin Robert Young's a brilliant writer. I think Dan Mitchell, who was our producer, is just great. We're going to use him more, I'm sure. Of course, Chad's brilliant. And there's nobody better than Veronica and Brian. And they just did their played their little hearts out, but that's all we could do.
I see a lot of questions from the chat room with regards to the LAN party. That is also going to be canceled after this weekend because it went hand in hand with the game.
Although I'm kind of torn. I think we should continue to have LAN parties just as an informal thing, not as a show, but just once in a while have a LAN party.
Well,
we're sending back the Doghouse Systems.
Well, I haven't talked to them yet. So
well, I would like to keep them in this.
You would like to try to do them monthly?
Yeah, I love having LAN parties.
I could talk to them and see if that would work.
It's not a show. It's just LAN party. We want to do a Minecraft server because we have this great, TWiT Brickhouse Minecraft.
Right.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have. We'll probably keep doing it. Let's see if we can keep them. Let's see if Doghouse is willing to have us keep them, because I would like to not do a weekly shut up and play, but just have them here, and then we could do occasional LAN parties.
Well, why don't we call it Shut Up and Play and have Glenn do them once a month?
All right.
Well,
I love it.
It
doesn't cost us anything to do the LAN party.
Well.
What?
Well,
yeah.
We'll talk about it.
I have to sort of share your mic. We talked to Dan Houts at Server Central, and they were kind enough to continue to give us access to a server in Chicago. And he said that we're going to have a whole bunch of like signs that say "Thank you" to Server Central. And,
good.
And so he said that was the thing that he wants to do.
And I would like to keep doing a LAN party.
And fun. Yeah, and there's a ton of people
Monthly
working
or weekly,
on the Minecraft server. We have to build up an infrastructure, and Brian Curley is doing all the admin stuff. There's Cheeto, Demon5, who's NickFlame20. There's iPod Parf. There's Kingcast. I mean, there's tons and tons of people who are helping us build this Minecraft server. We're making a video that we're going to put into reruns that'll have information on it. So look for that in the future.
Good. Thank you, Chad.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you. Chad did such a good job on that show. He was about 85% dedicated to Game On. Really did a lot of the editing and the work on that, and he did a great job. So we are doing a show tomorrow. They're going to get to do their farewell show. So they'll do episode 13. We spent $100,000
more than that.
So that's a lot of money
of all
for me.
The production equipment that we bought, but we'll
it comes out of this pocket right here.
Stop.
And so it's my money, and so I just couldn't afford it.
It's okay. It was the right choice. This was not a.
But a LAN party's cheap.
It has nothing to do with the people. It is a business decision, and that's what people have to do if they're going to survive.
Right.
So.
TWiT's money is my money.
It is.
That's it. There's no mystery person footing the bill here. I wish there were.
Yeah, he's right behind him.
God, I wish there were.
No, we're doing pretty.
We're doing fine. And part of surviving is making difficult decisions like that. You just have to.
The alcohol at the LAN party will not continue. That was brought in.
We apologize for that.
And there were some people that just didn't
I sent out a note saying, that's not. We're a family-friendly network. We want to keep it family-friendly.
Yeah, and we weren't buying that, just to be clear.
Buying what, the alcohol?
Yes. That was brought in.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
But the LAN party's free, basically. It's very cheap. So, yeah, we could keep doing that.
Well, we'll see.
It'd be fun. You're right. It's not great content to watch.
Right.
But it's fun to do.
But the reality is all these gaming PCs we have are on loaner from Doghouse Systems, and it was attached to the gaming show.
If they're willing to let us keep
I'll have to talk with them and see if something else can be arranged and see if it's still worth their while as well as worth our while to keep them.
Right.
So. It does cost us bodies and engineers and people to be here. So
everything costs, it's about $1,000 an hour. So even just turning on the cameras costs $1,000 an hour. Will there be more highly produced shows? Yeah, possibly. I think Ayaz and I are working on a show that is the closest thing to the screensavers we've done yet, and that won't be a cheap show to do, but it won't be hugely expensive.
So is Brian Gottwood going to show up tomorrow night?
I don't know. The reason Game On was expensive is the hosts were expensive. We had to fly Brian in. We had to pay him a lot of money. We had to pay Veronica a lot of money.
We had a staff of 10 dedicated to just about, when you count all the engineers, the amount of people that had to be
but they
here.
were just, but
teleprompter operator.
We didn't, yeah. Oh, so there's some, I'm talking about the costs that were above just having a roundtable show on there.
Okay, it was 7 people then, but we had to have extra people to be dedicated here.
So Max Trollbot was very expensive. And very demanding. His contract rider, you should see it. I mean, that
was actually my nephew forced to wear the costume last week because he was saying no, and I said, "You're an intern. Interns don't get the luxury to say no." So
I did not. Believe me, it kills me to cancel a show.
Yeah.
I did not want to cancel that, but I couldn't afford not to cancel it. Let's put it that way.
All right, let's talk about the good things coming up.
Well, thank you, everybody, and. What good things are coming up?
It sounds so depressing right now. I thought we'd talk about some fun things. I'm going to put Leo to work. I'm going to make him do some more shows.
Yeah, we have 2 more shows in the works. An iPhone show. We don't do an iPhone show. I thought we really should do an iPhone show.
So we're working on that.
A how-to show. So those 2, and we should see those in the next month or so. We still very much want to do that show in the makerspace back here. We want to build a makerspace, do a maker show, an electronic show, but It's 50 grand to build that space out, so we have to wait till we have some money to do that. No other shows are in the chopping block at this time, but every show could be canceled if it cost more to do than it was making.
Well, and it's possible that we may look at things to recycle as we roll new things out, depending upon
Lisa's of the
bandwidth.
opinion, which I'm not sure
And I'm
I
right.
share, that shows wear out.
They do. Okay, how many people watch TV? Don't things come to an end at some point?
On the other hand, on radio, shows tend to go forever, and the longer the show goes, the more successful it is. So it's hard to determine, are we TV or are we radio? I do see you, Caffeine Free Day. I actually see what you're wearing, and those pants are not flattering, dude. Smoke and Solder is great. You know, Ham Nation has a tiny audience, but it's a devoted audience, and we've actually sold some ads, I think, for it. So
We did?
didn't we? I thought we did. We're close to. We have some ideas. There's somebody who could buy.
We have a pitch. We'll see. I have lots of pitches out there, though, with inside sales going.
Radio shows.
You pitch a lot.
Radio shows do tend to go forever, and TV shows tend to have like an 8 or 9 year at max. Although The Simpsons in what year? I don't know what.
Depends. Some shows only make
That's
it 3
TV.
to 5 years.
That's very different, and I think it's a very different situation. I think our shows should get stronger as they go, to be honest.
And when they don't?
When they don't, then they'll go.
We have a difference of opinion on that, but it's probably good.
Well, I'm right. Simpsons is 22 years, right? But that's very unusual. That's
very
That's
rare.
actually the exception that proves the rule. But I do think we're more like radio. than
Twill
TV.
is doing great. I've actually have been very successful in testing that out for advertisers. People like that professional niche. So it's not only a great show with good content on
Right.
it, but it's becoming a show that people are really interested in.
Right. Do you have questions for us? We have answers if you do.
And we do have a
We're
new
hopeful
website
that TNT
that's
will
almost
benefit
done.
from the loss of Buzz Out Loud. We had tried to hire Molly when we hired Tom, and we came, I've told this story before, this close, and CBS kind of outbid us. I think she wanted to be at a bigger network, and she probably made the right choice for her. So we're glad we got Tom. I'm glad that TNT has outlasted Buzz Out Loud. I think that shows that we've got the best show.
Yes, I think the TWiT store will be open after NAB, so
Good.
no cat suit for me, just a pink outfit for Leo.
We're doing NAB kind of wall-to-wall April 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's the National Association of Broadcasters show. A lot of great, really cool gear. It's not just for broadcasters. It's very, very fun. I'll be down there. Alex Lindsay, Scott Wilkinson. We'll do Ham Nation down there because they go down there.
Yeah, and you're also going to moderate Broadcast Minds now
That's
on
exciting.
Tuesday evening, which is new.
If you're in town, you don't have to be attending an NAB show, but if you're in Vegas on the 17th, we are doing a panel for the New Tech TriCaster folks on how to do internet television.
Right.
Cheap.
Well, and the tech guy will not be at NAB this year because the show is
over a
only
weekend.
during the week, so that's not going to be.
Yeah, I've never actually done the tech guy from NAB.
Yeah, you can register on the New Tech site. We also have a link to Broadcast Minds on our site, so I believe it's free. Anybody can attend.
I could show them the New Tech Guy site, couldn't I?
Well, we have a screenshot. Did you see that? It just came in with actual. Well,
I saw it, but I'm wondering if do you have the link? Does Liz have the link?
I have it on. I have it in my email, but I don't know if I want to show it yet. We haven't even talked about design.
I showed it
like
to the chat room last night.
Oh, did you? Okay, well then
And
I
they
don't
generally
care.
liked it. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
design. It's the
I think
first
it's a little
stab at a
girly.
design.
Did you like the?
They didn't
writing?
like the color either.
I didn't like the color,
I
and I didn't like the
font. I didn't mind so much.
Really,
Yeah.
I didn't like the little curly.
Don't give
little
out the
cursive.
URL if you will, folks, because it's not a public URL.
Yeah, not yet. No, I really liked most of it, but I wasn't crazy about the colors of the font. So
We keep trying to ask Merlin. He's not exclusive as far as I know to 5x5. He just doesn't want to be on any of our shows. And so he's, we had him on
What'd you do
Twit.
to Merlin?
I don't know what happened. He's kind of neurotic. We had him on Twit about
Merlin.
6 months ago. I love Merlin. But he doesn't answer our emails. I don't understand. He doesn't want to do it. It's too much trouble for him. He gets anxious.
I don't.
We are going to do an enterprise computing show. I am not an expert on that subject, so
I
it's
still want to do
not
that,
moving
and I
very
really,
fast.
yeah, if Leo's not enthusiastic about a new show, it doesn't move very fast.
I don't know anything about it. Twill is a very small audience, but it's a good audience, right?
Twill has it has about 6,500 viewers. It's a pretty small audience, but it's a very it's a dedicated audience, and I really enjoy it. I was watching it yesterday.
Oh, it's a great show. And if you're interested in legal issues, having to do with the tech industry, and God knows there's a lot of them, like the Pinterest thing we talked about on the tech guy, Twill is a really good show for that.
Yeah, see, the enterprise excites people. It doesn't excite you.
No, I know, but I'm the one who develops the shows. So we tried to develop a show in enterprise.
When you had 2 people here for like 2 weeks?
Mary Jo and my buddy.
It was the wrong people. Wrong people.
Well, let's find some people.
Suggestions.
It's
what I need a lead host and then somebody that can wrangle in and pull these guys in.
It's pretty hard because.
What about Tom?
You see if he wants to do it.
I think
Tom shares my lack of enthusiasm.
Well, I need a host that's enthusiastic that can pull these people in because I want that host to lead those conversations. And
I agree. It has to be somebody who knows what they're doing.
What about Ayaz? He might.
Just ask him, but I have a feeling, I don't know whether Ayaz has any interest in enterprise, but it has to be somebody who's really into it. So, there.
Okay. What else? Jammer is cheap.
There it is.
There it is.
If you can close that comment there, because that's a little...
I just don't like, yeah.
I think the blue is wrong.
And the top where it says tech guy and the labs is above it, it throws me a little bit.
You don't like the logo type for that?
I like the
little guy.
The little guy's cool, but
the beaker with a smile.
labs above tech guy doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It should be tech guy labs. What about one of the TWiT guys to host? Ooh, that's interesting. To keep that in mind. It looks like Twitter. That's interesting. You know, I'll never say this on air. Never mind. I'll talk to you later about a comment I saw in the chat room. I have a suggestion.
Hero of the day is the Team Tech Guy that we're going to start doing on the Tech Guy site, where people like you in the chat room will help us answer questions and stuff. And every month we'll have our leader or something, our hero, whatever, tech hero of the month, and we'll give you a prize. We'll give you, an iPad or something.
An iPad, really? Yeah. I love it.
Well, it's worth it because for $500 you get all this free labor, right?
I hope.
Don't tell them I said that.
But you just did. We anticipate that to be available, mid? We're hoping to launch this mid-May.
Well, it'll be in beta by end of May, and then we'll probably be real launch by July 1st, I would guess. But
I'd like to be really launched by mid-June at the absolute latest. So, I mean, this thing, I don't want this to take too long once we're done.
Right.
This Week in It from the server room. Oh, IT, okay. Just caught the tail end of that. This Week in IT by John.
Norton does a regular show, Paul K. It's called This Week in Computer Hardware. He's on it every week on this network. John C. Dvorak has so many other shows. He doesn't really want to be part of this network. There's plenty of places you can see John during the week. Just not on TWiT.
I still want to do a show called In Between the Shows, where we're grabbing all the content of everything that happens between shows. I still love that idea.
We do a show called this about This Week in Future. It's called Forecast. See, this is the problem. We have a lot of shows that are what you're just talking about, and nobody knows about them. It was funny when we canceled Game On. I got all these tweets. Well, you should really just do a gaming roundtable. Yeah, we did it for about 8 months. It was called At the Controls.
Yeah, we did do that.
It's kind of fun because I don't know. I guess we're a terrible promotional vehicle, but we do a show about the future called Forecast.
Yeah, I'd say most of our downloads are international audience is about 30%.
TWiT does show up at the top of the searches.
I get a lot of requests
for
for education, things revolving around education and technology.
We will do educational content. Is that what they mean? Or do they mean content about educational technology? I am not going to do a show about educational technology. It's too small a niche. But we will do more educational stuff. Somebody who's interested in educational technology probably should watch, and I know many of our viewers are in educational technology. That you learn, that's what all our shows are about in a weird.
I think Jim Cutler should be on Triangulation.
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Did we put him down on the list?
I don't know, but that's a great idea.
We need to.
We promote a show every show. We promote another show, pretty much. But I agree, we don't do a great job of cross promotion.
Well, I think now that we have all of these teleprompters, we should probably do a few pre-recorded promos to put in between shows. Why not? So I think we could do that. Wow,
the reason we don't have house ads is we don't have a full-time person doing that. Nobody has the bandwidth to do that. I would like to at some point.
To do what?
If we had the money, have a promotion. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we've talked about
a promotions and marketing guy would be very, very, very helpful, but we just don't have one right now.
Before You Buy is doing well. It'd be nice to grow the audience. So
it's not as well as we'd like. I thought it would do better.
I thought it would be doing a little bit better. Your idea was to talk to everybody that did a review.
Well, let me ask before you say that. Let me ask the chat room for those of you who watch Before You Buy, what do you think? What would you like to see? You like it? Is there something that you think we could do to make it better? Yeah, I like Lamar. I liked Lamar a lot. The problem is he lives in Chicago. So our in-house hosts really need to live here.
More quick reviews. I saw more quick reviews. I saw about 3 of those.
Okay.
So if
we should maybe just shorten the reviews in general. Are the reviews too long?
I think I've also seen. I'd like to see the whole show. So I know you were just trying to do wraps.
It's too lightweight. More dissecting the products. It is kind of lightweight, but if we did short, that's shorter reviews means more lightweight, no longer, no more. It sounds like people want.
I keep seeing live. Live is the predominant one, but they may not be referring to just Before You Buy. Shorter reviews in whole, I'm seeing more of that.
See, I think it's about equally divided between shorter and more in depth and longer.
Well, we should have both. We should offer both.
We do. We do 2 short reviews and 2 or 3 long reviews. It's about half and half.
I'm saying possibly we do a shorter review if people just want to catch the 5 topics and see a smaller clip on YouTube about yes, no, a quicker cut down, possibly. And then you just have the typical show. We also talked about having some writing attached to Before You Buy so that, you can see a short demo of the review and then
I agree.
A combination
I think
of
Nicole wants to do that,
a pro and con. So we are considering that. I think that would be helpful.
Tell Tony Wang to be more outgoing. He's kind of quiet. He's a quiet person.
Tony.
He'll grow on you. He is. He's very quiet. Brett, if you look at my tweets, if you go back or you look at New Tech tweets, they've been tweeting out links. And I will tweet it again when I get off here. Because you do need to pre-register.
Right. It's also on our website. I mean,
is it on inside.twit.tv?
I don't know if it's on inside.twit.tv, but it's literally an ad on the front page.
Oh,
so people want to just go to our website.
Our front page. Oh, good.
And it's down at the bottom. There's a rotating ad for NAP, so it's pretty easy.
More shows like Wednesday and Thursday, less like Monday and Friday.
Yes.
That's an interesting review.
We are going to stream the New Tech Broadcast Minds event.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
We're going to carry
You'll be able to watch it.
On our network.
On our air as well.
What was the comment about Monday through Friday, Wednesday through what?
I don't know. It's just a comment. What is the status of HD downloads? Does anybody here know?
What do you mean the status of HD downloads?
There's the link. Offering HD for more than just TWiT.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
So this is an interesting. TWiT is not a go-to for reviews. It's a go-to for tech talk. I agree. That's part of the problem we had with the gaming show and Before You Buy is they're a little bit outside this thing of a roundtable of talking heads talking about tech. But I'm trying to get outside of that. I think that that's very limiting, and I don't want to do more roundtable talking heads shows.
Yes, I agree that we need more hosts like Leo. If I could
that
clone
would be a
him,
good
I
thing.
would. You know, the thing with HD with CacheFly is that it doubles how much we use from them, and we figured out this is roughly what we're using now, so double that. So before we do anything, this is a monthly pricing based on.
Are they asking us to pay?
No, this is what John and I had calculated based on our current existing usage. So,
but they don't. But we don't. But that's meaningless.
Well, yeah, but it would be double that. So I need to make sure with them if
yeah,
we do
it's double
HD,
the bandwidth.
Right. So we have to talk to them to make sure that they're willing to give us.
Yeah, but I don't think that means that $1. You can't assign a dollar amount to a free service.
Well, you can if you're trying to ask them for more than what you
because
quantify.
they don't pay that. That's the retail price.
Correct.
It costs them. That's the I'll talk off the air about this.
We can talk off the air about it, but I still have to quantify to them.
Whatever you do, bring up that, please.
Do you really think I was going to bring that up to them?
But we shouldn't even think about it because that's what they charge people. But it is not what it costs. I'll explain it.
Right, but you do have to. It's a partner that we do free marketing with, so I have to look at all the pieces to it.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't think they have ever equated the amount of or even thought about the amount of marketing they get versus what their retail cost of bandwidth would be. That's not the calculation there.
Yeah, that wasn't something I was sharing with them. That was something I was keeping for a tool.
Yeah. I don't want to get in that. I don't want to get in that conversation with them because it's not. It doesn't how it works. The bad link on the website, Brett. Oy.
What's the bad link?
There you go. newtech.com/NAB2012. That's nice and easy. Currently, we don't have Veronica slated for anything else. She's doing Techzilla, Sword and Laser. She's kind of expensive, to be honest. If she wanted to do something at our normal going rates, we would love to, but she's kind of priced herself out of our market. She was on TNT a couple of times to promote Sword and Laser. So you could expect her in that kind of a role. We'll certainly ask her to be on TWiT, that kind of thing. We don't pay people for those kinds of things.
I would love to have Bear.
Right now, we're in an austerity mode, so we're not hiring anybody. So, yes, there's lots of people we would like to hire, like Bear, a marketing PR person, and so forth. Salesperson. Actually, salesperson kind of pays for themselves, so
possibly.
Yeah, we probably would.
Great. You know, people can sign up to go to NAB for free. That's true.
Oh, we have a code. Yeah, I keep forgetting to promote that. I should do that right now. You got to promote the
code.
Yeah, would you remind me on TWiT to promote that code?
Sure. Why don't you promote it right now?
I don't know what the code is. It's on inside.twit.tv.
It's on our front page too. There you go.
TWiT 100, is that what it is?
Well, you have two
For $100
things.
off the conference Flex or Smart Pass, TWiT 100. If you want a free exhibit-only registration, TWiT. Well, I'm glad that's on our front page. That's good.
Right.
So right at the bottom there, NAB show where content comes to life. I think Sarah's giving up on Marty working on that. She and Marty were working on that, but I think he was kind of slow. So we still want to do a game show as opposed to the gaming show. Yeah, an in-house band. Did you enjoy that last week? That was fun. I would like to do more live music, you bet. Maybe when we do the LAN parties, we can have a live band. I want to have event stuff, that is fun to... I think that iPad Today and an iPhone show really should be kind of separate. We do iPhone software from time to time. In fact, we did this week on iPad Today. But it just doesn't feel right recommending an iPhone program on iPad Today. So we were thinking of doing an iOS show, but I think it's better to do separate shows for the iPhone. I mean, I think the market will bear a separate show. But Sarah has some ideas of something a little different on an iPhone show, so we'll see. Well, the reason there's more Apple than Linux, well, you think about it. Why do you think we do more Apple shows than Linux shows? Just out of curiosity. And you're right, F and Done IO, yes, that's the name of the show. Very good.
Yeah, Mac Break Weekly also covers iPhone too.
Yeah. At the Controls got no traction. Nobody was watching that. Even I didn't watch it. More singing Andy Yanako, I agree. Yay, Brett. So that worked, see? Well, it wasn't Kevin in Dublin. So often this is the case where we try out a show before we make a podcast out of it, because the cheapest way to do a show is just to put it on live. And it never got enough interest that we were going to do a podcast out of it. So it didn't even make that bar, right? Making a show a podcast doesn't mean it's going to be more popular. We generally, I love Linux. It's not going to be something we're going to spend a lot of time doing. We do Floss Weekly, and then we get, actually that gets a decent 15,000 downloads.
Floss is a great show.
Gets a decent number of downloads.
No, we haven't dedicated anyone to YouTube.
That came from the conversation on Sunday on TWiT about why we get such short shrift from YouTube. And Lamar, we were talking with Lamar because he works at Revision 3, and he says, yeah, Revision 3 has a full-time YouTube guy. That's all they do is interface with YouTube. And I said, well,
you would need a full-time person to interface with YouTube after talking with a few of the people there.
We were not.
So
we were not overwhelmed.
I understand why they have a full-time person talking to YouTube.
It'd be interesting to do a hardcore Android show as opposed to AAA, which is pretty soft. That's actually an interesting idea. I could do that.
Yeah, I keep getting a lot of questions about mobile computing.
You can't do This Week in Mobile. It's too fragmented. It's like gaming. You can't. It's too fragmented. You have to do iPad show, iPhone show, Android show. That's how we do it.
Percentage of TWiT's income coming from YouTube is 0.
Well, don't we count the downloads on YouTube?
Okay, it's
small.
$1,000 a year.
No, come on. Well, we get no money from YouTube.
No, because I'm the only one who started counting them into my billing. So
okay.
No, we have not made money.
We have not
from
been counting YouTube
until
views
recently.
until now. Okay.
And then they're still not that big. And what's really difficult with counting a YouTube view is that we tend to count full downloads of our shows before we build an advertiser. And YouTube, I mean, you just click on it and start watching it. You don't have to, you don't have to watch the whole thing. It just counts how many times people have viewed it. So it's really,
that's why those numbers are so bad.
It's really not something that I can justify.
I do think we are going to upload our shows to YouTube in HD. I think that's part of the improved workflow down the road. We do count bit gravity views, absolutely. Live views don't give us as much bang for the buck as downloads.
Well, not yet. I mean, actually, a lot of our advertisers won't accept anything on that. I think we need to come up with a better metric.
We want to count it. We're looking at how we can do that.
Yeah, it's I'm working on that.
You're right. A show pulled off YouTube doesn't cost us anything. I was wrong. I thought we were counting YouTube hits. So it is not a cost to us when YouTube pulls down a show. In fact, it probably makes us money.
People have to come to our website.
Actually. So I was completely wrong at that. I thought we were counting YouTube views. I didn't know we
weren't. That was one of the questions I've been asking our outside sales team for a long time, and it wasn't until recent shows that I've discovered that they weren't. They say from time to time they do. I think it's because they can't justify the download of it. So it's hard for me to, dispute that, but I wish I had more of an understanding of it.
I have always thought YouTube numbers were horribly worthless. But
yeah, if you download your show on Podcaster or other platforms, it should be counted. Those should be part of the metrics that they're pulling from.
Doesn't matter where you download the shows from. If you download them from our site or you use Downcastr or iTunes, whatever you use, it all is the same. It all gets counted because it all has that. It goes through a special URL. So it doesn't matter. Roku counts. Everything counts.
Right.
Live views and YouTube views are the ones that are a little tricky. Live in the sense of what
so
you're
if you
watching
watch
right
us
now.
live and you absolutely love it, we recommend you download it so we can get it counted.
It's the best thing you can do. If you like our shows, the best thing you can do is subscribe to them in iTunes or some sort of podcast client and download them every week.
So if you watch them live or you don't catch the whole thing,
yeah, just
you're
subscribe. That's the best thing you can do. There is a Meteorfly replacement on iOS. It's a much better app. It's called TWiT. And it was written by Houdini7. And get the TWiT app for iOS. Why didn't you say so? I only watch live. You know, the truth is...
I think we've said this.
No, it's fine. Watch live. It's fine. It'd be nice if you subscribe. I'm not going to lobby to have people subscribe. If you're watching, in the long run, we're going to have to make it based on, there you go, Shift Key Software. That's the app you want. If they have an iPad and an iPhone app. If you're going to watch live, that's the future for us anyway. If we had vast numbers watching live, we'd make money on it. The real reason we don't is because it's just not vast numbers yet. So you're doing me a favor by watching live. That's fine. In fact, all of you should watch live as well as download. And if you can't do both, do what makes you happy.
Putting an ad on mainstream TV to watch TWiT.
Look, let me put it this way. I do
that...
Regis and Kelly, right? I get 6 minutes on Regis and Kelly, 4 million viewers.
But you never promote TWiT. You only promote
They always say
the
TWiT at the end, but it's just not. It's not.
That's Regis and Kelly, though. Let's get you on Letterman. Let's get you on
it's not going to happen.
Channel 2 News.
It's not going to happen.
Because I know how much you love
It's not going
them.
to drive any traffic. The people who watch real TV don't watch us. I think the way that we need to grow is word of mouth. You need to tell your friends. You need to talk about it to your friends. That's how you're going to grow. I don't want a lot of people coming in from mainstream media. They're just going to be baffled.
I got them all talking about it, though. It'd be fun to have you on Letterman or something.
Fine. Yeah, I know. She screamed twit.tv over the... I know. I don't even know why I do that show. It's such a waste of time.
No, it's not.
It's a total waste of time. There is absolutely no promotional value to doing live with Kelly. And mainstream media does not help us. It will never help us, I don't think. It's just not.
Oh, God.
What's the story with TWiT swag? Well, Lisa's going to be wearing a kitty cat suit soon.
After NAB, the store will be open.
What was the deadline that we gave you?
Do I have a deadline? I just sold
it was just open-ended, huh?
I just sold $1 million in sales on our regular shows.
You don't have to wear a cat outfit. You've done very well.
No. A bet's a bet. I'll wear the cat outfit if I don't make sales. It was by September. Wasn't it September? I don't remember. Liz Lemon? I don't think I had a deadline. I think you tried to put a deadline on after we agreed to it.
There was no deadline.
I think I was getting hosed on that deal.
There was a deadline. How could I say you have to make a certain amount of money, but you have an infinite amount of time to do it?
We have a certain amount of time on
but
once it's
you
up.
still owe me $1,000 from our last bet, so.
What was that?
I forgot, but you bet me $1,000 I couldn't do something, and I said, I took you up on it, and I did it. And you said, why do I bet you in? No, I forgot. I have to remember, but you owe me money still, so. Yeah, and I might be wearing a cat suit. We'll see.
Let me put it this way. I don't think we're going to do anything with gaming ever again.
You just said we're going to have a LAN party.
Well, the LAN party's just for us. It's for fun. We're not doing a gaming show. That was a mistake.
Yeah, okay. If I don't have the TWiT store up and it's not turning money.
It was June.
Was it June? It can't be June.
I'm not stupid.
Never said June.
I'm not going to say, oh, you have to make $10,000, but you have an infinite amount of time to do it.
Where did $10,000 come from?
Well, how much was it?
You just said I had to just turn a profit on the energy I put into it and on the sales.
Oh, okay.
So.
You said it have to be profitable by June.
I only have till June?
That's what we said. They're saying.
Okay.
It's
Liz,
all right
after
matter.
NAB. Let's get it done
matter.
I have till June 30th.
It doesn't matter.
It's kind of fun, though.
Actually, gaming show did exist on TWiT, on Tech TV. Game On was X Play, and Game On X was called X Play, remember? And it was very successful,
right,
I guess.
June.
That's why G4 bought us, right? It was all about the gaming.
Game On's canceled. Someone came in the chat room late.
Extended Play, that's the original name of it. Extended Play, and it became X Play.
If I win, Leo has to wear a pink dress and a wig and lipstick and heels.
Frame Rate is our cord cutting show. I don't know why you say it's not for cord cutters. It's our cord cutting show.
It is.
This is the problem, you know, is that
people need to watch Frame Rate, and then they can come back. Yes, there will be stuff available at the front
there'll be a
desk.
physical store, really?
Yes, it'll be behind the front desk. They can buy it here.
How is Frame Rate for cord cutters? I don't know. Ask them.
Okay, let's be nice. It's Easter time.
I was told it was for cord cutters. When you say you never miss Frame Rate, does that mean you never miss a show or you don't really miss it?
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to ship internationally, right, Liz? You know what? Let's just get that thing open.
Yeah, no, we should. No, it should be having international, and we're talking with 2 different fulfillment centers on how they would do that.
Look how many people like Frame Rate. That's really cool.
Yeah, Frame Rate's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love Brian.
How many downloads does Frame Rate have?
About 10.
See, that baffles me. Maybe it's because everybody watches Frame Rate live.
No, I keep an eye on the live numbers.
Just kills me.
Live is about roughly 10%.
So 10,000 downloads is very small.
But I don't know. I mean, I tend to see in our chat room, you know, almost 2,000. I mean,
so you all should
viewers.
be watching Frame Rate and subscribing and downloading it, please. Because I'd love that show to do well. I agree. It's one of the most underrated shows on TWiT. Is that my dress? Which one? How about the one on the left? I kind of like that. Is that a J-Lo outfit?
The one on the left is J-Lo, and the one on the right, they're the South Park creators.
Oh,
Yeah,
those guys
okay,
are
you know
so
what?
weird.
He totally has to wear the one on the left now. Because I'm going to win.
I think I'd look good in hot pants.
Didn't I say you have to wear that on TWiT?
And I've got bigger boobs than that guy does.
Oh, jeez. All right. I think we're done. I really think we're done for the day.
10,000 downloads. What the heck do you man enough to get to 1 million? I'm in the wrong business.
How do you get to 1 million?
Well, here's the deal. 10,000 downloads don't make it. Our big shows have 50,000, 70,000, 170,000, that kind of thing.
Yeah, what I'm finding out with stepping into sales is that the average that most advertisers want to see is a 50,000 download audience.
We got to start at 50.
Yeah, that's where that's kind of the point. But I've been able to sell some of the smaller shows with packaging them into the larger shows just to try to grab that niche of audience. So
it's TWiT, Windows Weekly, and MacBreak Weekly are kind of tied for second and third.
No, TWiT, Windows, MacBreak Weekly.
TWiT, MacBreak Weekly, Windows Weekly. This Week in Google.
Windows Weekly, This Week in Google, Security Now are kind of all about I'd say Windows Weekly is probably hedging out to be third.
Okay.
Twig, Security Now.
These are all above 50 at this point.
Are tend to be TNT's about 50.
TNT. And then everything else is below 50.
All about Android is about 30. 25 to 30.
We can make money on a 30,000 download show. It has to be a cheap show, right?
They're going to boycott sales.
Yeah, just because they want to see you in a cat suit.
Okay, I'll wear the cat suit for Halloween.
So we charge around $80 per thousand. So a 100,000 download show would be $8,000 an ad.
But to be clear, you actually receive.
It's a billboard plus an ad.
It's really 200,000 impressions because there are 2 spots and they do go hand in hand. The first is the billboard. Right. The second is the interstitial ad. TWiT Photo does 20-ish.
It's not very big. I wish TWiT Photo were doing better. I'm not sure why it's not doing better. We bring on all these people with their own big communities and everything. Our numbers, by the way, are extremely conservative. I mean, one of the reasons our numbers are so low is that they come from PodTrack, and PodTrack has a unique IP database. If it's not in this database, it doesn't, every IP address has to be unique. It's very conservative numbers because that's what the advertisers want. They don't want us to inflate our numbers, and they don't want us to have large numbers. So a lot of times you'll hear us say these numbers and then compare them to some other company that's giving, massive numbers. And that's because of the way we count is very conservative, but I think, accurate, and certainly apples to apples for us. But I wouldn't compare our numbers to, say, YouTube numbers or some other number or maybe your own, what you think you're doing based on the, numbers you get from Libsyn or somebody, because we do a very complicated measurement system.
Someone just asked if we thought about doing inside sales.
Yeah, we do inside sales. Lisa's doing a great job.
It's interesting.
Lack of promotion, Carl. I agree, Carl. But how do we promote? What do we do?
Give us.
I tweet. Veronica had 1 million Twitter followers. I don't know exactly what. I don't think buying a billboard on 101 or buying an ad on CNET is going to make it, and it's very expensive. So I'm not sure how to promote. I think we need to bet. I agree. We need to do better in-house cross promotion. I'd like to.
I think we have some opportunities now that we're only doing NAB, and
I don't think Facebook ads. I don't think any of that. I think that it's too scattershot. Our audience is a very specific audience, and we need to really, if we're going to buy ads, it has to be pretty targeted. And I don't think you come to this. I think it's a bad idea to have somebody come here via an ad, to be honest. I think word of mouth. It's up to you guys. You got to spread the word. Spread the word. Well, this is a problem. Most of our advertisers don't pay for the 30% outside U.S. sales, unfortunately. Most don't. Some do.
About a third don't.
I thought it was a third do. It's a third. Two-thirds of our advertisers pay for total downloads?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's better than I thought.
And everyone I'm pitching.
Yeah, we're moving in that direction because
anyone, if they don't pay for all
Ford
downloads.
should, but does not.
Well, my attitude is I can push one of two things. Either I can push the live audience that I'm not pushing very hard, or I just say total downloads and I'm not breaking it down.
Right.
So I'm pushing that, and that's all I'm pitching.
I promote TWiT on the radio show and the radio show site every single day.
And the nice thing with that is that because of our contract with Premiere, we're able to tap into the advertisers that are on the radio show, and they're interesting. They're coming to us and they're packaging both. So
I do lots of other
podcasts.
Well. Mike, do a ton of other podcasts.
They're
smaller than we are.
Yeah, I mean,
downloads help us more, Garby.
I should count the studio audience. I would love that. We need to have a bigger studio audience.
How many listeners? Well, I don't know how many listeners the radio show has. I would say it's between 500,000 and 1 million, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the radio show helps TWiT and vice versa.
180 stations, something like that.
Right. No more brick sales for a fundraiser that I'm...
No, we're done with brick
sales. I think we're done with that. I mean, they look really nice, and it was really a huge help. Anything else?
We're going to have Joshua Topolsky on TWiT this Sunday, actually, tomorrow.
Excellent.
It's the all-Jewish TWiT because it's Easter. So it's Topolsky.
Then why are you here?
Because I'm an atheist. Worse than that.
Oh, jeez.
Josh Topolsky, Patrick Norton, and Rafe Needleman.
Oh, that's right. I'll be here.
It's going to be a good TWiT.
I'll be here.
Yeah, good.
Are you guys going to stick around for Game On or the last LAN party?
I'll be here.
LAN party.
I'll be showing up about TWiT time, and I'll be here until about 9.
LAN.
So is Leo.
Rock band, rock band.
Did you hear that?
No.
I said you're going to be here through the LAN party tomorrow night. Okay. I think that's it. I have to go decorate Easter eggs because I'm not an atheist.
We should sell ads on this show. This show is a moneymaker.
Well, we have to provide it to be a download.
I pay Lisa more than anybody.
That's not true.
I don't? Well, then I'm making a big mistake. These are the two
to be
most
paid
expensive
more.
people on TWiT right here. This is the most expensive show we do.
That's true. It's a good thing that all my money depends upon this show.
When the catsuit is worn.
I'll wear the
We'll
cat
charge ads on
Okay,
it.
you know
Actually,
what?
we should charge ads.
I'll wear the cat suit. You guys all have
What
to
I
send me
think
some money
we are
though, to
missing
buy
the
it.
boat on, and I would love to get some input on this. We got to hire a sales team, but I think we need to be more creative in how we monetize. We need more non-traditional revenue.
Well, that's what I'm starting
Like I'll
to work
tattoo,
on.
Fester networks on my forehead.
The last
or something.
pitch was for the studio sponsorship. So
That's true. We are pitching studio sponsorship.
We're pitching some different things. I mean, but I've only started sales in
She's done great.
January.
She's
so
done great.
I have about 25% now in house, and
What is
I need
the
to
obvious? We're overlooking the obvious.
What are we overlooking?
Self-fezzes?
Well, I think I need to get some traction on really understanding how the sales work, get someone in here to go after some different things, and I can't do pre-rolls. I don't want things to take over my website, so...
Viral moments. Yes, that's what we need. More viral moments.
Well, we have that. We have a breaking news sponsor.
I think the rave that we had last weekend before you buy was a viral moment.
The what?
I do everything I can to create viral moments.
No, there will not be a naked twit.
Is that what you were thinking? The
Well,
obvious. You would not want to
really
see that.
wanna see
Believe
that?
me, you do not
Come on.
want to see that.
No, I think it's going to be show promotion.
Everybody finds out about TWiT by accident, of course. So how could we have? So the guy who said that, how could we have gotten your attention sooner? What would we have done? By the way, you didn't really find out by accident. You found out through some form of promotion. You searched for it, or you searched for my name. I mean, it isn't really by accident.
Someone said they want to see a topless twit. I guess I could get you and Tom to do that.
God, that's perfection.
People are finding it by accident.
Nobody finds it by accident. That's kind of, think about it. You found it through promotion. You found it on YouTube. You found it because your friend told you about it.
They
You
could have
found
done
it.
a Google
There's no
search looking for...
accident means you were like...
You're searching for something on probably Google or YouTube or found it by a friend.
Yeah, the number one way is word of mouth. And that's actually how I would like you to find out about it, because you're more likely to be tolerant of it than you would from an ad. If I do an ad and you go, oh, that sounds interesting, and you tune into this, you'll never be back.
Hey, they just said if we put an ad on mass transit, so maybe on the back of a bus.
Yeah, that's what we need, bus ads.
I think that's kind of funny. All right.
Scrolling so fast. Yeah, I would guess most people found it because they're either looking for me or one of our hosts, and they see it in a search. Yeah, Patrick mentioned it. And that's why you notice we have a broad variety of people from other communities on this show. Every time, tomorrow's a really good example. We've got Joshua Topolsky from The Verge, presuming that he will promote that to The Verge's audience. Patrick Norton of Revision 3 at Texzilla, presuming he will promote that to his audience. Rafe Needleman of CMET, presuming. So think about those three people. And besides the fact they're on because they're great, they're smart, they're going to be great journalists. Three big geek communities, The Verge, CNET, and Revision 3. I'm smarter than I look. There's actually a reason why we have people on. And so the idea, and I've been on Adam Carolla's show several times. So which is better, having an advertisement on The Verge or having Joshua Topolsky on and talk about it in his Twitter account?
Why would we have an ad on The Verge?
Which is better?
Listen, I have an idea. Why don't we talk to The Verge and Revision 3 and... we can promote their networks and they can promote ours. I mean, we have different content.
Simply, Charlie, we have so many podcasts not because we want you to watch everything.
Well, we want to provide a variety.
Because we want to hit a variety of people. So you do not have to watch everything.
Just try.
We do not have to go past the tech viewership. If you're not into tech, you shouldn't be watching TWiT. You will not be happy.
That's not true. If you watch This Week in Tech, it's like an in-depth.
It's for people.
Conversation.
Everything we do is aimed squarely at the tech enthusiast. That's all we're ever going to do. That's what we want.
Yeah, but they're.
And if you're not a tech enthusiast, you shouldn't even try watching TWiT because you won't be interested. And actually, the issues, Curtis B, is not that everybody who knows tech knows TWiT. In fact, that's all we need to reach. I don't want to reach somebody who doesn't know about tech. I want to reach only people who are interested in tech. And we aren't reaching everybody who's interested in tech. That's the gap. I don't care to reach people who aren't interested in tech. Why would I want them to watch?
I would tell you most people that are growing up today are interested in tech because they're growing up with it.
Well,
I mean,
no, actually, that's not true. A lot of people grow up with it, but aren't. We're aiming at somebody who's like really cares about tech. If you don't really care about tech, you won't watch this. You really won't, because after a while, it's just too boring.
That's not true. iPad today.
Well, we do stuff that's on the range.
Right.
But it's all for people who are kind of care a lot about tech. That's our audience, not Ashton Kutcher.
Hey, he cares about tech. What are you talking about? And so does Will Soper. I'm supposed to say hi to him.
Hi, Will.
He's working on our tax return, and I told him to turn us on.
He's stuck, slaving over a hot pencil. Thank you, Pat Rat. Thank you, Pat Rat. The more you tell your friends, the better, right? But tell friends who'd be interested. So if you have a friend who's really just got a new iPad and is really interested and excited, say, hey, you got to watch iPad today. That's kind of what needs to happen.
Or you have a friend into Linux and tell them to watch Floss.
Right,
or
exactly.
You want to hear about, what was that law they were trying to pass? No, I'm kidding.
Reddit might be a good place to advertise. But I think, again, I don't think ads work in this context. I think the best way to do it is to have somebody from Reddit on, which we've been trying to do, and he will mention it to his audience, you know? Lisa does secretly want to wear the cat suit. I know she does.
I've already ordered it.
She's a kitten with a whip.
Oh, what? Where did the whip come from? Yes, I'm all about the whip.
We do have hosts
I actually
who will
kind
be
of am.
polarizing.
Now that I think about it, I am kind of the hammer here. I thought my nickname was the hammer, but maybe
The
we'll
hammer.
change it to
Lisa, the hammer can sell.
Lisa is no longer the hammer. She is now the whip. They might like that, though. I kind of like hammer better. They're a little more afraid of it.
Promotion is a funny thing. I come from the school of just kind of under-promoting, believe it or not, underselling it. I want people to come to us gradually and become devoted and crazy fans. I don't want casual viewers. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Why don't you want casual viewers?
I'll explain it to you over coffee.
Okay. Yeah, you owe me at least coffee. Let's go. Will. Haha, whip.
Ooh, that's true. She does. That's very funny. You're right, Will.
Okay. Let's call it a day.
Good night, Lisa. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Lisa.
I'm not singing.
It's time to say goodbye.
All right.
Merrily we roll along, roll along, roll along. Merrily we roll along. I randomly found TWiT by looking at live channels on Ustream.
Yeah, there you go.
That's about as random as it could be.
Hey, that's true. Ustream, they do showcase us. So does
Right. We get showcased.
Yeah.
All our partners showcase us, I think, and if they don't, we should. One of the best things we can do is get a showcase on iTunes. That makes like a 20% change in numbers.
I'm totally down with talking with Engadget.
I really think the best thing we could do is market properly with iTunes, unfortunately.
And I totally do. I market
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah. By the way, we are showcased tonight.
I know. And that would be the #1 job of promotion.
Okay, it's time to go to dinner.
Bye.
Bye.